We are getting ready for Global Champions League Round 2. There's loads of entertainment inside the ring. Perhaps more importantly, the course walk is currently underway inside the ring as well. And we'll get all of that information, all of those updates for you as we get closer to the start of GCL Round 2. As it stands, the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, lead as the only team on double clear. Madrid Emotion, 3-time penalties for Kim Emmen. She finds herself in a slightly strange position because of those time penalties. And the Kunststars, powered by the Iron Dames, are in third on 4. And would this rider not want to be there for GCL Round 2? Without a shadow of a doubt, would Jana Fredrika Meyer-Zimmermann be in that ring competing for the Kunststars? But she has come to join us inside the studio to have a chat. Jana, for anyone that has missed the news, talk to us about what is happening over here right now.
Well, I had a very unlucky accident yesterday in the warm-up.
Yeah.
And my horse jumped great, but then, yeah, I think it was just a second where she maybe stumbled a bit, jumped into her shoe and couldn't get up really. And I realized too late, and I was already on my way over the jump, and then I had to jump alone, kind of.
Which is what we never want to see, the riders jumping alone. It's why you have the horses to help you. So she got a bit stuck in the sand and you were already committed for the jump?
Yes. And then I had a bit of a bad fall on my shoulder and the shoulder came out. So, and I have to say I had super help around me, super support right away. But unfortunately, it looks like I can't ride for a bit. We don't know yet. We have to check again next week. But I hope I don't have to do surgery. It's nothing broken. But yeah, the ligament and everything, it's probably very stretched, maybe a bit damaged. We don't know yet. And yeah, now I'm here.
What's tricky about a dislocation, you're right, is that it needs time. There's inflammation, there's fluids, so you need to have some time. I assume you'll be heading to the doctors in Germany in the new week?
Yes, on Monday we check again. I had a super doctor here, I had super support. But yeah, we can't tell now how long it will take. Hopefully not so long.
What I think is amazing about your character is here you are injured. You probably could have had the opportunity to go home already now, but here you have stayed, you are in the kiss and cry, you are still supporting this team. Does that say a lot about your character and how important this entire project is for you still?
I mean, I think it says something about the whole team. I mean, we're here to support each other. And I went here to be as good as possible with good horses and a good goal. We won here last year, and of course, yeah, we kind of want to do the same. But luckily, I have very good colleagues, so they did well the first round, and I hope we do well the second round also.
Of all the stages for you to miss, I know this is a very special place for you. I imagine that it's even more heartbreaking to where this has happened, because any injury is not a good thing. But talk to me about how and why Monaco in particular is such a special place for you.
Monaco it's a very special ring, and I have to say the injury totally came into the wrong time moment, but probably it's never a good time for that. But during the season, of course, you're like, yeah, you're a bit desperate in the moment. But anyway, we have a top team and we support each other, and same we do this weekend, and I'm sure they will do the best without me, and I will support from the side and have my fingers crossed. And yeah, I hope we make it on the podium again.
It talks a lot about the depth of the Kunststars, doesn't it? Because you can have a rider that gets injured, you have Katrin Ackermann that can still jump clear, you have Natalie who jumps a really good 4. One of the major strengths of the Kunststars has been the depth of this team. Talk to me about what was the conversation then once they knew you weren't available. How much did that change? What was the original plan? I assume you would have jumped, of course, but how quick did the team have to adapt once the injury happened?
I mean, I'm here with Iron Dames Dubai, so yes, the plan was that she also jumped for the team. But like you say, we have a really strong team, and we are all very committed. So there was no talking about it. It was clear the next one steps in and will do the same. So, and I would do the same for somebody else. So we are a strong group, and I think they did super. I mean, both rode a super round. I couldn't have done better. So now it's just about crossing the fingers for the next round.
What did you make of round one? There's only one fence in it to separate Kunstars and Stockholm. It's a single rail. It's very tight. What did you make of round one? Because it looked quite smooth from the course walk, but the results tell us that it was anything but smooth. That was very tough jumping. What was your take on round one?
I think it's really hard for the horses because the ring is so small, and when you come from an indoor, then it's fine. Then you're already into these tight rings. But now during the outdoor season, when you already also have big rings around, then it's really technical over here, and I think for some horses it's not so easy, and also for yourself as a rider, you have to get into it, and you have to put a decision quite quick. There's not much time to balance up again and then add a stride or leave one out, because all the jumps come quick, and then you have to be like really on it, and that's why it's very special.
Well, like in 2024 when Kunstars won here, if they do win it again tonight, please come back and join us in the studio, because we would love to have a follow-up chat with you. Get back to work, go and support your team. It's wonderful to have you here. I'm very sorry to hear it. Speedy recovery, and we look forward to seeing you get back in the competition as quickly as possible.
Thank you very much.
Jana joining us in the studio. She had a tough fall in the warm-up, and because of that, she will not be competing here in Monaco. Hopefully, good news from the doctors in the new week will mean that she is back to performing as quickly as possible. Let's remind you as to what took place in GCL round one and just how things stand now. It is the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M Wheel of Horses, that lead as the only team on double clear. Madrid Emotion on 3 penalties, and the Kunstars, powered by the Iron Dames, currently on 4. We'll also try and get some reaction from Rosie Turner, who will be inside the ring. Thank you very much once again to Jana Fredrika Meyer-Zimmermann. The Basel Cosmopolitans on 4 alongside the Prague Lions. Falkenswaard United with a time penalty on 5. Riesbeck International, time penalty on 6. New York Empire, powered by Lugano, time penalties on 11. It was a major talking point after GCL round one, where how many time faults were found. Let's not forget that the Monaco Comets and the Saint-Tropez Pirates both got eliminated, which means, in fact, that there will only be 15 teams competing in that second round, and that the Doha Falcons will be the first team out the gate in GCL round 2. Let's head into the ring. Rosie Turner getting us some course reaction. Rosie, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Alongside me now is Robert Murphy from New York Empire. And Robert's been fantastic in the team so far. Just one down and a couple of time faults in the first round. The time was tough.
Yeah, it was tough enough. You know, my horse isn't so experienced at this level, and I'm wary not to push him too hard, which costs us a bit. But, yeah.
You're bringing in a new horse as well into this one. I think Spencer Smith is coming in as the second rider. How do you think that's going to go round 2?
Yeah, good. We've had a few decent results, me and the horse Eagle, so, you know, I'm quite hopeful for this round, and Spencer's horses look good through this weekend, so, yeah, we're hopeful.
Let's walk this line then, because you told me this is actually quite a tricky line. I mean, it's all pretty technical in here. And you can probably hear behind me as well, we've got a bit of a party atmosphere in here, but the riders are very much focused, as always. So tell me about this line, why it's tricky.
Yeah, it's a big oxer out of the turn to start with, away from the gate. And then it's a bit of a longer distance. It's 9 strides for such a small arena, which can be quite unusual. And, you know, for such a tall vertical to have the white poles is tough. Also, with a white background, it's really difficult for even us to see it, never mind the horses. And then, you know, if you manage to jump the vertical, there's a really short turn back to another big oxer, which you have to be really sharp for. So, you know,
I think a lot of riders in round 1 felt like it walked quite nicely, but then it was very difficult to ride. Do you think this is going to ride difficult tonight?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, the ring's so tight and the jumps are always coming on top of you, you know, so one mistake leads to another if you're not careful. So.
But listen, we'll let you go and walk the course again, get it fresh in your mind. Robert, thank you so much. We'll let you go. Mark, that's Robert Murphy, New York Empire. Just one down for each of the teams. Spencer Smith coming in and Robert Murphy changing his horse. Let's see how they go.
Thank you very much to Rosie. Thank you to Rob Murphy. The lights starting to come on. You can see just behind me, those floodlights, in fact, starting to open up. That second round under lights, it always plays a role. How much of a factor is it going to be if there are young horses, inexperienced riders inside a very small ring under lights? It poses a lot of questions. And that's often why you see scores getting quite high in Monaco, because some of those younger horses, some of those younger riders perhaps might find life just a little bit difficult Nice shot there of the beautiful arena set against that backdrop of that beautiful mountain, the coastline, all of the yachts as well that are set up here outside the marina. Take a look at that. Find me a better place to spend the rest of your summer. I'll wait. Portecule playing host to us here this week as we reach the official halfway point of the Global Champions League season. We come off the back of Paris into Monaco, and after this we head to London in a couple of weeks' time as we start getting ready for the upcoming few stages. But there's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of jumping that still needs to happen here in Monaco. Let's continue to get some thoughts, continue to get some reaction. I mentioned Madrid Emotion, that they find themselves in somewhat of no man's land. They're inside a single fence going down, but they're outside the double clears because of those 3 time penalties from Kim Emmen. It leaves them currently in second place, but that may well change because of those time penalties. Let's hear from Madrid Emotion.
Yeah, thank you. Alongside me now is Michael van der Vleuten from Madrid Emotion, who finished second after round 1. Just an unlucky time penalties for Kim Emmen there, but it was tough in there for round 1.
Yeah, it's always it's a tricky arena. Different jumping I always find compared to many other arenas. Very delicate fences. Not so much time in between the jumps, of course. It's more difficult for the rider and horse. And the horse from Kim is a super horse, not that much experience yet at this level. Okay, unfortunately some time faults. The good thing is that we stay inside the 4 penalty points, so everything is still possible.
Well, you both bring in some brilliant horses as well, some very experienced horses into round 2. How do you think they'll cope in this?
It's for this arena, it's a tough class. As I said before, also now the fences are coming quite fast, far into the corner, quickly out of the turn again. So we have to be aware the whole round, and our horses have to be aware. And yeah, let's see how far we can bring.
Is there any line in particular that you think might cause problems? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot there.
No, I think especially the line from 6 to 7 comes very quick, and also 10, 11, 12. It's a bit, especially number 12, as you can see, is really far into the corner. It's something different. Not all the horses are used to that, so it's for many riders and horses a new experience.
It's also not as wide of an oxer as you normally see in these courses. Is that normal?
Okay, but when you jump so far to the side, it always, you know, the horses, they stay a bit away from the side, so many horses will not always finish the jump very well, and that's also what we're gonna see a couple of times, I think, in the next 2 hours.
Well, listen, you've got the advantage of going second last night, so you've got a few teams to watch. Michael, we'll let you go. Keep your focus going. Thank you so much. Mark, that's Michael van der Vleuten. It's going to be a technical course tonight. We saw round 1 cause problems, and I'm sure round 2 we'll see some fences going down too, but it's going to be competitive as ever.
Thank you very much, Michael van der Vleuten. Madrid Emotion, a very late start, second last to go because of those 3 time penalties. Canstars and the Iron Dames will separate then Madrid in Motion. Before we wrap up and get ready for the jumping of GCL round 2, we remind you that this is the moment, or at least building up until this point, is the moment where managers can make changes. They can decide to make rider changes, they can decide to make horse changes, they can decide to make no changes at all. That's what makes the strategy behind GCL so fascinating. That gap between round 1 and round 2 plays an integral part of how the success of the night is going to play out. Let's go quickly back one more time to Rosie Turner. Rosie, talk to me about some of those changes. As always, when it comes to GCL, I imagine some teams stand out. Talk to me about anything significant that you find on that start list for GCL round 2.
Yeah, well, Mark, there's been a lot of changes for round 2. If I whistle stop through them very quickly, Doha's got 2 horse changes. Istanbul Warriors, 2 horse changes. Scandinavian Vikings, Vrieling brings in a new horse, and Johann Sebastian Gulliksen comes in. Paris has a horse change. Shanghai has a new rider and a horse change. But the one team that has made no changes tonight, which I do think is significant, is Riesenbeck International. They do not have any changes, but everyone else, they've made a change.
That is the Riesenbeck way. Ludger Beerbaum is not a fan of making those changes at the halfway point. Everyone else around them, though, seems to have made a lot of changes. We'll see which team, then, is going to benefit that the most. Global Champions League Round 2 action continues live in Monaco. Let's get Round 2 underway.